Some residents in Cape Town are already feeling the effect of the new electricity tariff hikes, much like the rest of South Africa. The municipality has adjusted the rates by 17.6% from the 1st of July. According to the city, the unwelcome change is largely due to Eskom's electricity tariff hikes. We're now joined by Sandra Dickson, Civic activist group of Stop COCT founder. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Sandra. If you could help us understand the billing cycle and what this increase now will mean.
This increase means that most people in Cape Town are, from the 1st of July, have been paying 17.6% more for their electricity. And as a resident, I question what the effect of NERSA is for the city of Cape Town, because NERSA recommended a 15.1% increase, and the cities is like 2% higher than that, where the city of Johannesburg is 14.9%, and the city of Tshwane and Buffalo City stuck to the NERSA. They actually reduced their increase to what NERSA recommended. So as a citizen here in Cape Town, or a Capetonian, I am very, very disappointed that the city is bluntly ignoring the guidelines of NERSA, which could have given us at least a 2% relief from the word go. And then there are other aspects of this increase that's also questionable.
We'll get into those other aspects in a few moments, but has the city provided reasons as to how they came to this figure?
One would like to get the actual cost, how the city and what the costs are that they incur. The city says that their cost for bulk purchases from Eskom is around 70%. Now that is 10% more than the other metros, which stands at about 60%. So the argument would be, why is the entire tariff increased by the 17.6%, where one would expect that the Eskom increase would only affect the bulk purchase portion of their costs. Now, the reasons that the city has given is the one that I was listening out for, and that is their efforts to reduce load shedding in Cape Town. Now, they are doing a reasonable good job of it, even though sometimes it's pretty unpredictable. And they are spending billions of rands on the Steenbras hydroelectrical outfit in Gordons Bay. So those things we can commend. But the problem is the city is not looking at the affordability of these increases and their aspirations to be the number one in every single thing that they do. So if they bother, like what the Municipal Act says, is to look at affordability, I think they will quickly realize that most of the working class, your average man in the street that still has a job, finds it very difficult to absorb a 17.6% increase in the middle of the year. As far as I could make it out, and as far as my questioning of other citizens are, is that nobody gets increased on the 1st of July in the year. So people now have to adjust their budget for this more expensive electricity, and all they can do is move it around and maybe buy less food, or do not pay their school fees, or renege on a car payment or something like that. So it's really become quite critical.
What are these other questionable decisions that you are raising your eyebrow at?
Typically, the issue that I've been bringing up for years now is the unregulated portion that the city adds to our tariff. So what is happening is that NERSA gives the city or approves a certain tariff for the city based on what information they supply to NERSA. Then after that, the city at present is adding 37.57 cents to each unit of electricity that they sell. And that is unregulated. They put it out as being unregulated, and the city claims that they only need council approval for that. Now, my problem with that is that it was brought in a stealth manner. There was never public participation. They claim that the money is going towards paying for streetlights, and they are subsidizing. Some of this money is going or donated to the rates portion of their costs. But nowhere in the vast amount of years that I've been analyzing this have I seen the city ever consulting the public in this practice that they have.
How are the indigent and the elderly protected from this, partially as it may be? Are there certain exemptions for those groups?
Yes, there are certain exemptions. They are not adequate, but they have corrected what I call quite a glaring error that they used to have with a lifeline tariff, where people would get a reduced tariff up to 350 units, and thereafter from 350 to 600 units, which is the cutoff point for the other two categories, which is your domestic and your home user. So for that 150 units, these lifeline people for years now have been charged the same high tariff as your other categories. So they've corrected that now, and I welcome that. So at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But what had happened to many people is those that used to get free units. Now, those are people that use less than 250 units a month. Now, anybody that looks at their electricity bill will see that 250 units a month barely runs a fridge, a deep freeze, some lights, and the absolute bare essentials. So what had happened now, that this is based on a property value, and this property value currently stands at 500,000. So if your property value exceeds 500,000 in value, you don't get these free units anymore. And what happened is that people went and that were accustomed to receiving up to 60 free units, went and purchased their electricity, and all of a sudden these free units are just no longer there. No warning, no nothing. They're just not getting it anymore because there was a property valuation GV 2022, which was done last year, and it took effect on the 1st of July of 2023. So inadvertently, or not knowingly, your poorest of the poor some of them lost their free units, and according to a city spokesman, it's over 10,000 households that lost this. And then another effect is in another category, which is your domestic category. If your property's value is now over $1 million, all of a sudden you are slapped with a service fee, a fixed charge of 252 rands per month, which is also something that the city did not point out to its users, and it's causing a lot of unhappiness, and it's definitely not making the city of Cape Town popular amongst very many people.
Are you at least receiving those services you're paying for?
I'm not too sure what you mean by that, but yes, we do receive electricity. However, with the high stages of the load shedding, we weren't that much sheltered. Basically, the city claims that they can protect us against 2 stages of load shedding. And yes, it does go quite well amongst the 2 stages of load shedding. But again, the city has taken those decisions one-sided without any public participation or giving people the option to choose. I'd rather sit with load shedding, but I will buy food. I can send my child to school. So it's this one-sided decision-making style of the city of Cape Town that is not palatable for your average citizen.
Sandra Dickson is with Stop City of Cape Town. She is the founder. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.